about the project. Probably want to wait a couple minutes, see if we can get some folks in here. If not, we'll record it and save it for everybody. But it'd be great if you are able to see it, ask some questions, and you know, getting live help is always the best, and what I've found. Okay, let's see. Let's send a message to everybody while we're waiting. Wow, we have somebody in here, participant. Arissa, hey, welcome, Arissa. I've actually never used this before. I'm guessing you can use the chat. I don't know. I can invite you to be a co-host. I don't know if you're able to use your microphone, but if you can, please try. I've actually never used this before. Just let me know or drop something in the chat. Oh, hey, you said hey. Hey, Arissa, hey. Can you speak or just chat? Not sure. As long as we get some way to communicate, we could make this happen. I don't think I can, but I'm happy to be here. Okay, cool. Great. Thank you so much. I'm happy you're here too. I was hoping we'd be able to do some speaking, but just chat. Yep. Okay. Well, we can make that work, right? A little bit more lonely for me, but I love talking with folks. So maybe for the second version of this, we'll I'll look to see some other tools that it might be a little bit more interactive, because I would definitely like to talk with people. That's the easiest way. So it looks like, looking at the community, Michael is live. Can join the stream. It shows that. I think everybody got an in-app notification. So I'm going to wonder if I should message everybody. Wow, we have 86 members in the community now. That's crazy. I don't want to spam everybody. I already sent everybody a note saying we're going to be live at 11 a.m. So I don't want to spam everybody. But if it's okay with you, Rissa, I think we should just get going since you're here. And if you want, you know, just ask questions and as we go through this. Does that sound good? Ready to get going? So I'll take that as a yes. All right, so I should be sharing my screen. I'll move this over here so I can see the chat. There seems to be a delay. Oh wow. Okay. That'll make things a little bit more complicated. About how long of a delay before we get started? Just curious, so I can kind of know. If you wouldn't mind, chat back. I guess how would we measure that? An idea. Writing a message to test delay. It is 11:04 EST my time. I just wrote that. Maybe 20 seconds. Okay. Okay, that's not too bad, but still, like, that's not live. Okay. Well, it's good to know. I'm trying something out new here. I'll look for another tool to do better. Live streaming is actually complicated. I tried to do it on Twitch, and it's really complicated to set up. I'm almost thinking just doing a Zoom call would be easier maybe next time, because I know the technology will stand up. and it'll be live and people can interact. So maybe we'll do that next time. But all right. So is it cool with you that I start doing a live build? Just let me know. Okay, great. Thanks, Arissa, for showing up too. This is super cool. All right, so I hope you can see my screen. It looks like that you can. Please give me a holler if you can't. What I wanted to demonstrate today is the builder part of V1. So if I were to kind of back up before kind of like, so you may be wondering like, hey, what is that? And if I were to back up before we get into actually making, I like to kind of describe like, what are we looking at? And the way that I would approach V1 is looking at it in three components. You have the builder, which is, think of it like, building a website, right? And we call, and if you're in tech, we call this like the front end. We have the second thing, which is called a CMS, right? And in the CMS, this is where we house all of our information that we'd like to display on the builder, on the front end, right? And so in the CMS, we have these things called collections. Each one of these collections, think of it as just like a separate group of information, right? So like might have user information, product order information, chat, whatever, like, Gumroad sales information, coffee shop, like there's all a bunch of random stuff in here. So maybe not the best example, but just different types of information. And then within each collection, what's amazing about V1 is how simple the CMS is. So it's just think rows of information, and you can create whatever columns you want. And we're not going to go into the CMS today. We're going to do that in the next live build. But you can also connect to Zapier and also the new automations product, which I won't go into today. But what this will allow you to do is be able to take information without having to use Zapier. Say you have a type form, say you want to connect Airtable, something like that. You can then pipe that into your CMS. So, whoops, looks like I must have clicked the wrong button. Wasn't paying attention. So next week, we're going to go into CMS. We're going to go to automations and just kind of, do some examples and build with it. And I've got a project, and for me, the best way to build, and I was just talking with somebody, I was interviewing a maker who has a product built on no code, and he talked about how he started, and it's really just about finding a project that you're excited about, a fun, small project just to get started. And so I thought the best way to kind of demonstrate that is just using a small project that I have. And so what I'm going to be building out is a replica of Gumroad, or clone, I guess you could say. I'm going to sneeze. God bless me. Sorry, I don't know where the mute button is on this thing. We'll have to figure that out. And so over here on the right, this is Gumroad, right? And a friend of mine, Quentin, is selling an info product called Tim's. It has searchable database of 200 free tools. So I wanted to show is like basically replicating this front end experience, just as an example, because I thought it'd be a fun project to make. And also later on next week, we're going to get into automations. We're going to connect into Gumroad's API, and we're going to port in information because the problem that I have that I want to solve for is I think this design is limiting, right? What if I want to have a different type of design for my Gumroad page? And what if I wanted this data to update in real time, right? So today, generally what you see when people sell their products is they create their own landing page. And then when they purchase it, you click on the Get It button, then opens up a separate experience on Gumroad, right? And so what I like to do is basically combine that experience. We could still use Gumroad for our transaction, but if I want to create more seamless experience, also want to create some customization. Also, I would love for this data, like sales, to update in real time. How would I do that? Well, today you wouldn't be able to. So I'm going to show you how we can do that with V1. So this is step one of 3 steps to bringing this product to life. And today's step, what we're just going to go through, is basically the front end. What's amazing about V1 is just how easy it is to basically build something. So, if I were to kind of explain this, if you're using a complex builder, you're creating containers, you're creating, all types of div, containers and divs and all types of boxes that you'd have to then label. And there's a ton of complexity actually to create something like this if you're using like another builder. But what's amazing about V1 is how simple it is to create something that looks and feels like that, but isn't as complex in building it. Now, the way that you can do that is just by starting with shapes, right? And so what I'm trying to do here is basically emulate this. If I was designing this and I was to, start off just recreating what we see here, we have this box here that's in the black outline box, and we have some information inside of it. So how would we create that? Well, instead of like dropping a container, which most people like myself don't even really care about knowing what is a container, right? It's part of technology to build a website. And so the way that you would think about this with V1 is just think of in terms of shapes, which to me is a much easier concept to grasp, because I know what a shape is. I don't have to learn what a shape is. I already know that what it is. I have to learn what is a container. And so that's the beauty of V1, is being able to, without having to learn what it is, just start building. And Jeremy, the founder of V1, says all the time, like, if it takes you longer than a week to build something, then really we failed, right? Like, we should be able to build something in a matter of days. We should be able to build something in a matter of hours. And that's something that we could do without a doubt with V1. And so here I have is just kind of my basic outline, and this is how we go about creating it, is create this basic shape. What you're looking at here, see the red line? This is helping me center it. The important thing to know about V1 is it's best for mobile first experiences, similar to Glide. So Glide's approach was mobile first. That's the same approach with V1. So just be cognizant of that when you're building, because you can see on the side here, it says not visible on phones. Anything over to the left of, in that kind of gray area, is not going to be visible on the phone. And so just be aware of that when you're building it. All right, so then if I take it from the top, I want to put in the text, Tim's. There we go. I'm just going to move this up. And just for just intent purposes, we'll skip. You can do obviously different types of text here, but we'll just leave that as is, because that's close enough for the demo. I don't want to bog us down with the finer details. And this is also too how I would build. I wouldn't be worried about, I would do the way that I build quickly, because I build a lot of things in no code, is to segment your types of tasks and do them in kind of like an assembly line order, right? So it's just like assembly line building. So what we're doing first is creating the structure of the page, as well as just the basic positioning of the text box, and also pictures and stuff like that. From a design aesthetic perspective, like if I want to get the font perfect for the title, I might go back and do that afterwards. But sometimes I find that as a faster way to build. But I think when you're creating anything, hey, whatever makes sense to you is really what you should go with and what you're comfortable with. So the second thing I'm going to build is, I want to get those little dashes underneath. It's a really nice little touch. I like how we did that. So I've already, to save you the bore of doing that, of figuring that out, I thought I had it here. There we go. I already had an image pre-made for it. It's similar. It's not exactly the same. But again, one of the things I'm learning as a builder is sometimes, perfectionism is your worst enemy. and just good enough, and you have to kind of learn like what is good enough. So what I'm going to do first is reduce the size of this image by dragging in. It looks about the right size, and then I'm going to rotate it like that. There we go. And then I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to put it right underneath. And there we go. Maybe I want to touch it up to just change it just a little bit. Right there. So that's good enough for now. It's kind of to the side, kind of similar to his. I can adjust that and move that later. Next thing I want to do is I want to add in the Indie Maker stack. So add in a text box. And one thing you're noticing here too is every action I'm doing, it auto saves, which is a really nice feature. So I can just make without worrying about it. You know, if I go do another task and forget to save it, I don't have to worry about that because it's V1's got me covered. It's going to save it for me. All right, so boom, drop in that text there. Might want to add a little bit more spacing there. And again, we can fine tune this later. All right, want to add in another text box. And you'll feel free, Aritza, to stop me at any point if you have any questions. And I can explain that more. No code, tools, and resources. All right. There's a little bit of delay because of the software, so we're just going to give that a second. There we go. And then we're going to find another font. Let's try 16. That's good enough. He has his a little bit bigger, so we're going to go to 20. There we go. All right, let's move this up. And then just grab. Again, there's a little bit of delay because I'm streaming. My overall computer is just a little slow whenever I stream. Try not to have too many tabs open at the same time, but this will be faster when you use it on your device. All right, so there we go. And again, I can make the size of this different later. We'll make that a little bit more bold, which you did there. I'm going to show one other item here for more options. If you click this arrow here, you can change the background color. You can also change the title here too, change the font style, insert a hyperlink, open link in a new tab. You have some other options here. You can also duplicate and delete, and then you just click this button and it goes away. So there we go. Okay, so now we got this image that we want to throw in here. So I'm going to upload an image. Apologize for sniffling. My allergies are killing me. Let's see here. Where did I put that image? Download. Just want to put that image. Any chance how accessible friendly are the pages? Can you use headings? Can you add alt text to images? Great question. So let's go through that in just a second. I want to see if I can find where did I put it? Well, let me just do this really quick and take a screenshot because I can't seem to find it. Just for fast. And once I just get this image, let's take a look at your question, Arissa. Thank you. Okay. There. All right, so I just took a quick snapshot. But what we're going to want to do is resize this, and then to save time today, we won't get this picture perfect, but we can just reduce the size. And if you have some type of Canva or Figma skills, obviously that's a bonus. Then the image that I had before, which I couldn't find, was a little bit cleaner looking than this, but this will do. It's good enough for building. Great. All right, so I'll stop right there. Wanted to show the purchase button, but let's jump into your question since you're here, Rissa. So your question is, when you get a chance, how accessible, friendly are these pages? Can you use headings? Can you add alt text to images? Great question. So, you know what? I'm not sure about the alt text, to be honest with you. Insert a link, add a border. So I'll have to follow up with you on the alt text. I'm not exactly sure for that, where that would be for the actual image. It's not something I've actually done before while I've built, so you stumped me. It's a great question. One of the things that I would just talk about with your perspective on like the tool for V1 is that the purpose of this is to get something up as quickly as possible to test an idea or a thought, right? Like, or to be able to validate something as quickly as possible. So I think that, alt text is something that you definitely need. If we don't have it, we'll add it to the backlog, and that's something we can get added, quickly. But I just want to kind of frame like the perspective of this is really to get something up and going as quickly as possible. So it's built with that, intention, that kind of job to be done in mind. But also too, we're in beta, we're building this out. So like knowing like what you need and what you're looking for, is important. Would love to know if you could drop in the chat, like, regarding alt text for images, like curious to know why that is important to you. I have a guess, but I just love to kind of just know why, what in particular about alt text is it that you're the reason why you're looking for that and why you're trying to use that to build. I know it's obviously helpful for SEO, things like that, but I'm just curious your thoughts there. So here are some screen options that I wanted to show, where you can click into it and add in different types of pieces, for each one of these screens, where you can add a background image, you can add a logo, you can add an icon, and different things like that. You can add a custom icon. And then if we're going to go into general settings down here, let me just kind of run through all the different profile settings. So we have profile settings, membership lock settings, if we want to do some type of payment for membership, and then backups, integrations, upgrade plan, Google Analytics, publish the App Store, transfer account, and app settings, web app settings, and here they are here. This is head code, only paid plan. So for that header code, if you wanted to drop in some header code, you could do that on the here, copy and paste. And so if you want to do some tracking or analytics, and then your question was, can you use headings? So I'm guessing that's what you're looking for, what we just showed there, by opening up the head code for headings. So let me know if I did not answer your question. And again, if I don't know the answer to your question, I will follow up with you and I will message you. As someone who used to work for a well-known college, accessibility is extremely important when building a website, webpage. You don't want to be sued. Yeah, absolutely. Accessibility is becoming such a massive thing that's coming to the forefront, and I'm so glad for that, because it is important that it is accessible. So I think you bring up a really good point, and that's good to know that that's a very important feature for you. So I don't know particularly with here how to add those. Maybe it's possible. So what I'll do is I'll follow up with you if that's cool, and we will we'll find an answer for that. Let's see here. Great. Answer question about headings. Awesome. So I'm just trying to see here. Upload the image, drop shadow, add a border, link. Just trying to see if I'm missing anything. round the image for regarding alt text. Doesn't look like it. Cool. So great. Answer question about headings. Awesome. All right. So one other thing that I wanted to do is add in a button here for payment. So what I'll do is I'll continue to build this out. And what I want to save for a lot of this is when we get some of the integrations, like for number of sales, I want to show that once we do the automations live build next week. But one of the things that I wanted to show was this button here on Gumroad, where it says "I want this," and you click it. So if we wanted to recreate that, you could do that here. My cap's on. Yeah, it's a little loud, isn't it? How do they do it? Yeah, I want this just like that. Perfect. So I could change the size of this. Oops. Let's go down to 20. And then what's going to happen is you can connect Stripe and do that here. And also the action that we want to add to this button for payment is payment, right? Pretty self-explanatory. So what will happen is if I publish this, launching your app now, the best way to show this is to demonstrate it. And then it saves it, and then it's published successfully. The second time I hit publish and we launch our app, what's going to happen is it's going to open up for us here. Looks like the delay is only about 5 seconds, so maybe it's getting a bit faster. So now you can see and check your work, and then click I want this, and the action for payment appears in the modal, right? And so this is the Stripe modal that we've designed. You can change the title. You can put a title here. You can also change the text here. And then once you connect your Stripe account, you can also create an actual payment. And so what's interesting about this is if, for example, you want to connect to Gumroad, is instead of the action being payment, you can just create a link, right? And so this link, for example, say we want it to be this and just go straight to payment, right? And we want to skip this page all entirely. Then what I can do is I can just insert this link right here and then publish, and we should see that appear. And so then what we're doing is, I'm going to obviously create this design however I want. I just want to kind of show first cloning it. But now we can kind of get the best of both worlds, because now we can create a custom page, and then next week what we'll show is dynamically insert like updates of sales and things like that, and it'll go to here, and where they can click I want this and purchase it. And so that's something that would might make it a little bit better experience, so that you can just create just a nicer page that has some dynamically loading content, and really design it however you want. So or if you want to pass that, you can just connect it directly to Stripe if we were to change the changes to a payment. Another thing that you could do too here is change this to a modal. And so when that button is clicked, then this modal appears, and you can create, add some type of content there as well. So we'll change this back to payment. You could also obviously link this to another screen. And the way this would work is here's your toggle for screens. I could then click on this other screen, and have it go to another screen on the app. You can see how the URL works there. And you can then design whatever you want on the second screen. Maybe it's more information, maybe it's examples or something like that. So, you can really, really quickly design something in a matter of hours and get it live and get it going. And so, yeah, I just wanted to stop there. Marissa, I'm so thankful that you joined. You love it. Thanks. Awesome. And what I'm going to do is take back the alt text. And the beautiful thing about where we're at now and the stage of building this is we can get this done, very quickly. So I'll talk to the developers and take a look at the backlog and get back to you to see if I'm missing it. Maybe it's somewhere in here and I just didn't realize it. And I'll either show it to you or we'll work on getting it implemented. Yeah, is there anything else that you wanted me to kind of show and talk through? I think, I wanted to stop there and also look forward to the next live build. Great. Just help with, getting started with using the basic builder. And really the best way to build is to start building, right? And start playing around with it. And, I'm available in the community 24/7. So if you have any questions, use me as an easy button, right? Say, hey, Michael, I'm trying to do this. You can direct message me. My favorite way to work is async. So if you can create a Loom video of if you're building something, you're stuck or have any questions, I will respond and get back to you as soon as we can. So thanks so much for attending, Marissa. This is going to be recorded. So I hope this is a good reference for other folks who said they couldn't make it but wanted to see the recording. But yeah, so I'm just gonna stop there and please, I'm looking forward to seeing what you're building. I'd love to know what you are building, if I can help with that in any way and answer any questions for you. So with that, I think we'll end it. Is that okay? Does that sound good with you? Awesome. No, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing here and then we're gonna end the stream. So Marissa, thanks so much. I hope you have a great day. And you made my day by attending this. And I can't wait to help and see what you build. So take it easy.